Hey guys, and welcome back to the WTFarm Girl channel. If you are not already subscribed, feel free to hit that red subscribe button, and don't forget to turn on your bell so you can watch all of the new videos that are popping out. Today we are going to be working on the truck. Yes, she's actually not as new as she looks. She is an old truck that we were able to pick up at a very good price, rust-free, from Texas. And went through and modded her out. She was already lifted. She was already a dually before we got her. Eric went through and repainted her, since he paints. We put the decals on. We did put new bumpers on, which we were able to pay for by selling the old bumper that was already on here. We upgraded the lights, upgraded the mirrors, because those should have been upgraded anyway. And obviously got new wheels. So if you watch the old truck videos where I was doing donuts in the field, here's a link, and any of the other videos where we had the truck before it was modded out, here's that link, then you know you haven't probably seen the actual truck, unless you saw the hay rake and the parade video, which is right here. So she has not really been out since winter. We put her away in winter storage. She does not handle good in the winter time at all. And I'm not sure if it's because of the lift, but most likely it's the dualies, because she's rear wheel drive as opposed to all wheel drive. I mean, you could do four wheel drive, but she's a bear to turn because of the lift. The lift makes her ridiculously insane to try to turn. So if you put the four wheel drive on, it gets even harder, and you get the idea. Just is a pain in the butt. So, yep. Oh, and then this is new too. This had to be replaced as well because it had completely rotted through. Like I said, it's a Texas truck, so it was on a lot of gravel roads, and the gravel had been hitting underneath the bar there, and it was just one false step and you would have gone straight through it. So we put that on. Yeah, the graphics actually weren't very expensive. We got those on, shoot, was it eBay? I think it was eBay that Eric found those. So I picked out the new graphics. Honestly, everything on it was pretty inexpensive. The worst part being the bumpers. Those are Boondock bumpers. And yeah. So, and probably the wheels were a little bit more. Now these are actually pretty cheap. The little lugs right here. Yeah, I was pretty sick, huh? I picked those out myself. Yeah. So those were actually pretty decently cheap. The wheels, there's not too many options for wheels for a dually truck. So, because you need the front wheel and then you need the double dually. So that's what we picked out. Anyway, I'm not sure how tall lifted she is. She does have bigger tires. I don't remember the specs. What we're doing today is we are going to degrease the inside of this because she has an oil leak. Now, from what I understand, a lot of diesels leak oil. That's normal. But she also has a squealing belt. We replaced the belt last year. Eric replaced it. And it was doing great for about a month. And then it started squealing. And it was squealing for a couple weeks and then it stopped. Like, oh, that's great. And it stopped for, I don't know, maybe a week, and then it started up again, and it hasn't stopped. So coming back to this year, it is still squealing. And so we're gonna go through and degrease everything and just see what's going on. We have some Simple Green. Eric bought the scrub brushes. He was supposed to buy a spray bottle for the Simple Green, but somehow that didn't quite happen. Okay. Fortunately, that automatically opens. Okay, so I'll show you under here first. You can see oil dripping on that, oil dripping on that, and oh dear gracious me, it's everywhere. Like legit, like bad, like right there. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's pretty significant. So, that's why we're gonna go through and degrease it. So, I mean, they're not terrible. I did brush them down last year. Do not remove cover. Okay. Yeah, I mean, they're not bad. I did scrub them down, but I can see a little bit of battery acid there. I heard you're supposed to remove this and then scrub stuff underneath it too. This is gonna need a bag for sure. Honestly, I don't know what else needs bags. Maybe the engine right here. Or, yeah, so this is the part that makes me nervous because I don't know. Like, we're gonna be spraying water in here, and I don't know exactly what can have water and what can't have water. Today's a perfect day because it's nice and sunny out, and it's warm. But see, it almost seems to me like it's not sitting quite right on that bottom belt down there, like right there. It just looks like it's a little crooked to me. But what do I know? I don't put belts on, so. And from what I can tell, the squeal was coming more from the bottom area than it was from the top. So there's like 2 or 3 pulleys that it could have been. So is it from the belt or is it from the pulley? I don't know. I mean, pulleys will squeal too when they're going bad. So that's my concern. I don't want a pulley going bad on me because that would be bad. And that is not the engine, that's the alternator. So, and then obviously that's the air intake right there. I did find a spray bottle. Looks nice, doesn't it? I know, this was in the dog room, so it's really dirty. I filled it with some Simple Green. The instructions on the back said 1 part Simple Green and 10 parts water. I was kind of estimating. Alright, so, on another curious note, I'm not sure about this, but I was looking in here, and I'm like, gee, there's a cable that's not connected to anything. That's kind of strange. And I thought, well, maybe a battery was supposed to go like back there because there's some space. Because I know it has 2 batteries, but then I looked over here and I'm like, wait, no, that's a battery right there. Wait a second. Of course, this battery obviously is a little corroded, and that one definitely needs to be scrubbed, but look at that. Look where that wire's going. It's connecting him to the outside. He's being grounded. This guy is floating. I wonder if he should be grounded too. But that's not today's issue. I'm not going to spray the entire engine, just certain areas to make sure that the oil comes off. What I was trying to say earlier is that they actually make a special engine oil dye that you can put into your oil reservoir and run it through your vehicle, and then you have to take a special UV light, do it at night, and then you can look with your special flashlight, UV flashlight, at night and see it glowing and see exactly where the oil is coming out and where it's traveling, which sounds pretty cool to me because I kind of geeked over that sort of stuff. But anyway, it works with the transmission fluid too. But I don't think we're leaking transmission fluid. Alright, so we got the air filter in a giant Ziploc bag right there, and I put 2 Meyer bags over the alternator. I'm not going to spray anything back there. Pretty much I'm only concerned about the areas down in here and down in there, because that's where all the oil is. And I mean, yeah, it'd be kind of cool to have a really sparkling clean engine on this truck, but considering that I really don't know much about trucks and what cannot get wet and what can get wet, I really don't want to risk it. So I'm just gonna work on the oil and call it a day. Maybe I should have started on the bottom and then worked my way up. Because I do have to get underneath it and spray it too. There's so much oil caked on this thing, I don't know if it's even gonna come off with this spraying and scrubbing. But we'll give it a shot though. We never notice like giant puddles. It's usually just like a spot on the ground and not enough to really register on the dipstick as needing oil. We change the oil about once a year because we don't drive it a whole lot, and it sits for at least half the year, so it'd be the equivalent of getting it changed twice a year. So pretty much every springtime we change the oil. So it sat all winter and nothing is registered on the dipstick as far as being like low or anything. It looks like it's normal. It might be missing a quarts, but it's hard to say. So now we get to go through and I guess scrub it. That's not gonna be the most fun. the crap? Why? Why? I might just have to break out the heavy duty guns for this. Alright, well, I guess I'm gonna rinse it down, and then I do have some other heavy duty cleaner stuff that I was trying to avoid using, but I might just have to. So she's definitely looking a little bit shinier and a little bit cleaner, but I think we're gonna have to bring out the big guns and just selectively spray the grimiest areas that are hit with oil. Yeah. Alright guys, so we have two choices. We have Gunk Engine Degreaser Original, and then we also have Zip Fast 505 Degreaser. And this one sounds a little more heavy duty. It says to keep away from electrical components, which from what I can tell, there are electrical wires everywhere on the inside. So that's going to be a little interesting. You don't want to spray your electrical components with some of this stuff because it can short circuit your engine, and that would not be good. And don't ask me how to prevent that because I really don't know. I just know what you're not supposed to do, and I'm hoping I'm not doing it. This one says that it's supposed to be dry. Well, obviously it's not dry because I just sprayed it with water, but I don't know, maybe we'll use them both. Maybe half the engine I'll use this one and half I'll use this one, and then we'll compare them side by side. Sound like a plan? All right. Yeah, I'm gonna be covered in this stuff. I just took a shower this morning, so it's gonna be great. All right, let's see what we can do in here. Let's see, so there's more electrical stuff on this side, so maybe I'll use the Zap because it doesn't say watch out for electrical stuff. Ah. Boy, stuff's spraying all over me. Alright, so the directions say to let it set for 10-15 minutes so it can soak, so we'll let it sit and soak. And then I'll also show you the back because it looks like the back is leaking too. And again, I know nothing about trucks or the internal components or diesels, but it's got some stuff back here, kind of like the tractor, but right back there, it looks like it's all covered in oil too. So I'm almost wondering if like a gasket's leaking or something like that. If you regularly work on diesel trucks, specifically Ford diesel trucks, this is a 3-liter V8. I think it's a 2003, maybe it's 2002, something like that. So otherwise, I know if it has a lot of leaks, we might just have to bring it into the shop. But we'll clean it up today. I'll put the fluid in, and we'll close the video with that. Now I know you're not supposed to drive the engine while it's wet from what I read online, so we'll let it dry overnight. And maybe I can pick up some of that glowing solution tomorrow and put it in and see. Alright guys, well I'm going to show you this really quick because you kind of get the full effect when it's dark and it's at night. Now you can see the leaks with the special yellow glasses, which we do have glasses that do that. However, it doesn't appear to be leaking anywhere that we can see. But I want to show you this. I know you really can't see me right now. This is the normal flashlight. Time for scary stories. Anyway. Let's see here. Well, I'll show you. The problem we had is that this flashlight's got two modes. It's got normal flashlight and then UV flashlight. This is so cool. You guys get to see this on camera, and it actually looks totally different on camera too. Like right now you can see it and this looks like reddish purple, but in my light it looks yellowish purple. So that's kind of crazy to me. Anyway, it's just a difference in how the camera's picking up this light. But it did look like they had used this stuff before, but a different color, because there's some areas where there's like green showing. I mean, you can see like can't make anything out. So we looked high and low and high, and it doesn't appear to be leaking anything, which is just flipping nuts to me. But maybe it just needs to run for a lot longer. I think Tavares said that he ran his for 6 hours, I think. I am not gonna run mine for 6 hours. No thank you. No sir. That's a lot of diesel fuel wasted, if you ask me. So yeah, I mean, that looks like it might be a leak, but it's not. It's just random stuff. But I'll show you this really quick here. This is where you put it in. Yeah, so that is actually the color of this stuff. And I have it all over my hands. And yeah, so that's what the color is that we're looking for, and I don't see it anywhere. Nowhere. But I thought you guys would kind of like to see what it looks like with this UV light. This is pretty sweet, actually. I think everybody should have one of these to look for leaks. Just because it's fun. I should have done this with Eric's Journey, man. That thing was a piece of crap. But that's glowing. So you can see, like, there's so many different things that glow in here. Let's just check the ground one more time, just to be sure. I see a tiny fleck of something, but I don't think that's anything from the oil leaking. Alright, now we're gonna look up in there. See, that's a label over there. This miscellaneous stuff. The only other thing I saw is the drain plug, which is right here. Well, that seems to be glowing strange colors. See that right there? That's the drain plug. Hi, kitty. Oh, there's Sassy. Not that you can see him, but because he's a blob. Hey, Sass. Everybody say hi to Sassy. Whew. So anyway, I guess that's good because it's not any crazy leaks going on. But on the downside is, I have no idea why there's so much gunk down here. It almost looks like they had done this test previously and then maybe repaired it, because that looks like it might be like faded stuff right there. Like, this is all stuff that I washed off. This is old, not new. And I wonder if it had been leaking previously and someone repaired it, but they just never cleaned it up down here. All right, well, I'm gonna keep the flashlight in the truck, and then we'll probably just check it in a couple of days and see if anything is developed. So, don't know.